So today finds us on a trip to Bawdsey, which I call the big end of the Deben, the big boys end of the Deben. Kayaks loaded on the car, and we're arriving at Bawdsey. And I have to say, the car park's free, and you literally take your kayak off. It slides down the pebbles as though it's on rollers, and you're straight in the river. It's absolutely fantastic. And when it's high tide, because that's low tide, when it's high tide, you literally almost kayak back to the car. I can't wait to get out. And let's see if any bass turn up as we go out. But it's a glorious day, very hot and very calm. So at the moment, I'm just holding this one, seeing if I can feel anything. I don't really like the idea of having my rods behind me. But what I've done with this one, I've set the drag really light, so that if I get something, hopefully there'll be a bit of a... So I'd normally use, when I'm fishing for my kayak, I'd normally use Savage Gear, a couple of light spinning rods and some Penn Battle 2 light reels, but because I knew I was coming down here and because I knew I'd be using bigger weights, I've scaled up slightly. So these are Shakespeare Ugly Sticks. They're the 12 to 20 pounds version, and slightly scaled up Penn Battle 2s with 15-pound line. And you've seen the terminal tackle. There's a few speedboats heading up to the speedboat area. I'm definitely going to give that a miss. So at the moment I'm just anchored to a buoy there. I could use my anchor, but I'd rather use a buoy if I can. It's easier to get free from. So let's just wait and see what happens with the fish. Right, I'm bringing this one in, not because I think I've got anything, but I'm just checking my bait. The thing about this end of the Deben, where it's sort of 20-30 feet, it takes a lot longer to do than the other end up at Woodbridge, where you're in about 3 or 4 foot of water. Oh, well, at least the crabs are the same. So let's bait up again. So this is the 3-hook job. I've got a couple of bigger weights out just in case I need them. The tide's picking up a bit now. Right, let's just drop this baby over the side. Look, not that side, that side. Watch the line go out. All gone. Close the bail arm and pop it back. Question: is it ever too early to have your lunch? Personally, I don't think so. But my lunch is way up there. Can I get it? Oh, I can. That's novel. Right. So, cup of tea or cold drink? Let's have a cold drink. There we go. Ham and coleslaw, in case you were wondering. Either that was my imagination or I had a bite. You having a laugh? Well, that was fun. You thief! You thief! I think I have my first fish. I don't know what to say. I can only apologise for the quality of this video. Circumstances beyond my control. Well, I think they're beyond my control. Mind you, having, I have moved and I have caught fish, so my tactics are obviously working. Oh, hello. What's this? You having a laugh? You having a laugh? Get off. Get off. What is your problem? Leave it. It's windy, but it's not cold in the slightest. Oh yes. Little bite. Little bitette. Little bass. It's a tiddler, but it's a bass, and it's a crab. It's two crabs. Let's get rid of the crabs first, because we don't want those in the boat. Hello, little bass. Well, things are looking up. Here we go. Let's take you off and pop you back to grow bigger. Right, so that was on the top hook, so maybe they're not quite as far down in the water as I thought. Maybe I should just suspend it a few feet off the bottom. That sounds like a plan. Let's try that then. We're only in 6 foot of water, so that's the bottom. I just lift it off the bottom, a turn. So we just boing, boing. Maybe just leave it like that. See what happens. So I'm back over on the Bawdsey side of the river. And as you can see, the tide's coming in and it's absolutely racing through here, whereas on the other side of the river, where it's just as deep, it's 12 foot here, there's a lot less current, a lot less. In fact, when I was on the other side, I was hardly moving. Here, if I took that mooring off, I'd go zooming up the river, and as I intend to go down the river in about an hour, I'm not moving and I'm not catching any fish either. Now the tricky thing with a kayak is your boat is in the back and you don't really want to turn around too much if you can possibly help it. But sometimes you just have to. Fortunately, it's very calm, and if I keep my centre of gravity really low, I should be alright. So I need that. Sometimes stuff falls out as you're bringing it across. So there's some rigs here. So I've just lost one on a big snag. I'd like to say a big fish, but it was a big snag. So I'm going to put another on. Not entirely sure what this one is. It looks like a 3-hook something or other. They all went on really easily, but they never come off really easily. Excuse me while I faff around. Oh, at least the hooks are sharp. So what we need is a bass. So you can probably see we were in about 18, 19, 20 foot of water. We're now in 6. It's not because the tide's gone out, it's because I've moved. No bites, time to move. So I was over there at that buoy, and now I'm on this buoy, and if necessary I'll move again. So I've been here probably an hour and a half, and it has to be said, there's nothing happening. The bait's coming back, even the crabs don't seem to be interested today. But you've got to be in it to win it, as they say. This is exciting. I'm expecting to find this. Hardly making any progress at the moment. Maybe that guy's right. If this is your boat, many apologies, but I only just touched it with the tip of a fiberglass paddle. Okay, no one was hurt. I was just caught out by a very fast current at that point, and if you watch you can see I'm not paddling, and yet I'm going backwards at a rate of knots. So I was actually paddling against the tide then. Well, that's my excuse anyway. Right, we're in the last chance saloon now. The slipway's just there. I've got a bit of rag left, and it's time to use it up. This is probably out of the main. So I had a bit of a bite on my not sure if it's another load of weed or what it is. It's on the bottom hook. What is that? It's a thang. Is that a dab? It's something to do with the spiky. Has he got, or is it a place? Has he got spots on it? Difficult to say. Well, I carried on, and I carried on but there were no more fish to be seen. It was an absolutely beautiful day and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I had a few problems with my kayak. I had these rod rests at the front, and one broke off. I got caught on a snag and I was racing down, just drifting, and I had the drag too tight, and so the rod sort of bent over. I thought it was into a big fish, and it pulled the the rod rest out of its groove. So I'm going to have to sort that out. So I actually spent most of the time with the rods either behind me, which was straining my neck, or laid down at the front, which again wasn't ideal because there isn't a lot of space on a kayak. But great time. And eventually the bait ran out and the time ran out. And so I ended up having to head back. And yeah, I'll just show you where I landed because, as I say, with high tide, you literally, my car is just out of shot to the right. It could not have been a better place. And as I say, the parking's free. Just out there where you can see there is a really deep channel. It shells off to about 40 feet really quickly. And when the tide's coming in and going out, it races. Whereas on the far side, the Felixstowe ferry side, it's actually a bit shallower and not nearly as bad. So hope you enjoyed that, and maybe see you down there sometime.